Hello, friends. This is Army TV, and we are working in the Kherson region. We have visited the 808th Dniester Support Brigade, and right now, you can see how the brigade soldiers are conducting demining operations.
The GCS 200 machine does a good job of demining. There have been no misses. The machine made a strip. I followed behind the machine, and I found an MVCH, a mine. A group of sappers was also working with us. They approached, tried the hook, and it detonated. Then they went around the square again and found 5 more mines. Under the TM mine, there was a surprise. An ML8 trap mine. They mined skillfully. Some are placed in a checkerboard pattern, some are just scattered. We worked, the machine made a strip. I turned the machine around and sent it back into the strip. The machine was moving, found a TM mine, and the organ was torn apart. Partially, not completely. The machine is fine. I turned off the organ. Parts flew apart, though not all of them. We removed the organ, installed another one, and within 2.5 hours, the machine was back in operation.
This is exactly what work in this mechanized complex looks like. There's a lot of dust. It feels like you've stepped into some kind of Dune movie.
The
area is very dusty. There's no wind because of the trees. I have to stop the machine, wait for the wind to subside, and then resume work.
And how does this affect the machine in general?
The filter absorbs a lot of dust, and we have to change it more often.
What is its speed of movement and demining?
Up to 8 kilometers per hour at most. That's in transport mode. In working mode, up to 1 kilometer.
Is it armored in some parts?
It's all made of thick metal here. It weighs 2.5 tons.
Tell us, why do you use this specific attachment tool?
Over the course of a year, I've understood some nuances of working with this equipment, and it's easier for me to work with the chain flail. There's also a second attachment for each complex. There's an excavator, a shovel that can push, and a bucket with a sieve for sifting sand. There's a high percentage of preserving the operator's life because we work at a distance, and it neutralizes the most dangerous things, tripwires.
And how does this happen? Does it just pull them?
Yes, it pulls them toward itself. And even if the explosion happens to the side, like an OZM or MON, the distance doesn't reach the operator. The OZM mine explodes, rises upward,
like a frog,
to 90 centimeters, and then it bursts in a circular range. The MON, on the other hand, is directional, acting in one specific direction.
What mines have you encountered most often?
Mostly petals, cluster munitions, POM2 and TM.
How does the control process work? How do you operate it? Can you show what exactly you do at the control panel?
To start, there's a button here that locks the entire machine. I release it, the machine is unlocked. Then you need to establish a connection with the machine. We press the button twice, the connection happens, and the machine gives a signal. Then we start the machine, and everything is through the LS. That is, safety in this control panel comes first. So if both hands aren't engaged, you can't start it or operate it.
How far do you need to step away from the machine for it to be safe for you?
The minimum distance is 200 meters. The maximum depends on weather conditions, wind, and rain. The control process isn't complicated. The more challenging part is the machine's maintenance process, because of high temperatures. It's more or less cool now, but when the temperature rises in the summer, we'll have to lubricate it more often.
You've been serving for about a year, and during your entire service, how much land have you managed to demine?
From 80 to 100 hectares.
And there you can calculate. There are about 10 such mechanized units in the brigade. And you can already imagine the scale of demining that has been done in a year.
The level of mining is quite high. Especially in some places, there's even a massive accumulation of dangerous mines and explosive objects. Each area is contaminated differently. This equipment works both in field conditions and can operate in forested areas.
But not in dense ones.
Yes, if the forest isn't too dense, these complexes can still work.
And how would you rate the effectiveness of this machine on a 10-point scale?
About an 8, roughly.
And why?
It depends on the working conditions. When the terrain is more swampy, or on an elevation, or lower down, or whether the operator can see where the machine is working. I'm motivated by people's desire to return to these national points, to return to their homes. When village council heads approach and say that a farmer is ready to sow the field, and we get to work. And we understand that by the next season, or maybe even this season, people will manage to sow this land.
I was driving in Kalinievska. We worked there a year ago. And now you look. The fields are sown. Everything is so nice, green. You feel your contribution. People are starting to revive the land, cultivate it. I drive and say, I demand here, I demand here, I demand here.
Every pass of this equipment is a chance for the region to recover, but ahead of us lie years of extremely difficult work, and this, unfortunately, is a challenge for generations.